Welcome to our channel. I'm Kitty Blomfield and this is Emma Sgourakis, the nutrition coach, and we are the co-founders of Saturée. And in this video, we just wanted to talk a little bit more about our background, what we do, why we do what we do, and then why we came together to create Saturée. So I think, Emma, you should start because Emma found the work of Dr. Ray Peat a lot before me, and then I found Emma. And Emma and Dr. Ray Peat's work changed my life.
Probably 2011, I think, came across the first article of his that shifted my entire perspective on just food and another view of the body that I think I've been craving and looking for since already being in the industry for probably 9 years as a practitioner, doing what was, I suppose, the done thing in terms of recommending what to eat to my clients, what I've been taught at uni about what is appropriate nutrition, and just not really seeing major results in people. I think they felt good about my advice because it seemed very politically correct and they assumed that sounds, yeah, exactly. It seems right to them. So they would take on board my advice, but rarely would you get anyone coming back with incredible stories of transformations. But it wasn't until I came across his first article that I found, is it Vegetables? Who Defines Food?
Yeah.
That one for me was just, everything just made sense. All of a sudden, it just took me down the rabbit hole of reading his articles.
Did you go vegan for a while or plant-based?
I've done everything. I've done it all.
That's the only one that I didn't do.
Didn't you?
No,
it's fun.
surprisingly. But yeah, I remember you were used to eat heaps of avocado.
Only a little bit on the vegan part, not for too long. I think there was always an element of cheese or seafood or something. Vegan completely, only a matter of weeks, I think, but very much that sort of clean approach. And the juicing and all that fun stuff. But gosh, since the age of 9, I started reading books about nutrition, which in hindsight, you think it's great for kids to have an interest in healthy eating, but what does healthy eating mean and which books are they reading? I don't know. I think I'd discourage it. I think I'd want kids just to eat real food and be grounded in that and focus on getting energy in and focus on life. You know what I mean? But I had digestive issues since I was pretty little, so I just wanted to feel better in my gut. And a naturopath put me on that path when I was pretty little. And I remember him saying to me, I can still remember it, and he just looked at me and he said, "You are what you eat." And I thought that was incredible. So I did. I was pretty cautious about what I ate from then on, which helped to a point. But, then through my teens, I played with being vegetarian, and then there was versions of macrobiotic and I suppose versions of paleo before paleo even had a name. All of that, been there, done that. But I think deep down, I wanted to help people with their eating and understand their bodies better and maybe find the most ideal way to eat. But I felt that who am I to give people this advice if I haven't figured it out for myself yet? So I really was hell-bent on exploring all these different opinions on food and seeing what felt right to me, which, it was important for me. But yeah, been there, done that, done it all. You've done quite a lot of them too, I'm sure.
I know, and then because I've just I dieted for 17 years of my life, from like 17 till 34 when I found Emma, and I had just recently got divorced, and of course I jumped on the next like crazy ass low calorie diet because I was, I don't know, I guess sad, and just it was a way to punish myself. And if I could just lose weight and be skinny, I would be happy. But obviously I wasn't happy. I was miserable, and I was Googling, and, I came across Emma's website, and there was just your article defending fruit and other non-complex carbs. And I read it, and it was all about, because I was the antichrist when it came to sugar. I never ate sugar except when I was binging and falling off the wagon on the weekend, eating tubs of Ben and Jerry's and packets of biscuits and all the other crap that I ate. But then during the week, I was like, no, I can't even eat fruit, made my own bloody almond milk. And then I read this article of yours, and I was like, it's like I'd found the Holy Grail. When I was reading, I thought, oh my God, this woman this is why. And I had all of these health issues like shit periods and terrible sleep and like binge eating and just skin breakouts and hair was falling out. And I just was obsessed with food. And here's Emma saying, like, drink juice.
Do the opposite.
Eat fruit. Yeah. And I was thinking, wow. And I read all of her articles and I emailed her and said that because I think you were going, you could only make an appointment with you by like, you're only taking on a handful of clients, I think, because you were just about to go on maternity leave again with Oscar. You were having,
I think it was. Before. Yeah.
And so, I sent her this long email, talking all about my dieting.
You're one of those crazy client inquiries going. I was like taking them on board.
Thank God. And then I just remembered like loving it, like all the information you were sending me, the popping the food bubble, just reading everything and thinking, oh my goodness, like this is exactly why I've had all of these issues my whole life. And I never enjoyed food and I was obsessed with food. And then, drinking the juice and drinking chocolate milk and eating all the carbs. And I met Craig and started strength training. It literally changed my life. All of my issues disappeared. I was enjoying food again. I was training for performance. And then Emma and I just worked together, didn't we? Sort of like we did some consulting work with you because you went on maternity leave, and then we just became friends. And you just really changed mine and Craig's life. And that nutrition approach is the foundation for the nutrition that we use in our coaching business with.
Well, it wasn't me. None of it was me. It was the stuff I'd learned the hard way myself. And, those before me who taught me or that made sense for myself personally and resonated. And then obviously it resonated for you. But you were, I'll never forget, you were the most compliant, best client I've ever had. Anything I'd suggest, you were deliberately restricting your calories to a point, or before you'd be, doing a shoot or something with your training, and I would get you to triple your calories and load up on chocolate milk, and you'd be like, right.
I had to go all in, I had to go all in.
Go all in. I was like, who is this human? She's just incredible.
Amazing, like eating good food again, like enjoying eating like potatoes and orange juice. Every time I drink orange juice, I sit there and think, this is like the nectar of the gods.
Do you remember that first sip after you hadn't had it in years? Like it just, doesn't it just,
incredible.
Every cell in your body is immediately happy. It's just when it's fresh and it's,
And the binge.
And it's just so sad though, isn't it? What
I know.
Put themselves through unnecessarily, and
doesn't have to be like that.
There's no point to living without that enjoyment of, I don't think.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. And just changed my life, left my job in mining, started a company with Craig, my partner, NuStrength. We have a program now where we help women like me, improve their body composition, improve their health issues, enjoy food again, re-educate them on food. And then, Emma and I worked in sort of parallel for a long time. And, one of the things that I learned from Emma was about just, I guess, the toxic stuff that you put in your skin. So like creams and, deodorants and perfumes and how estrogenic they can be and add to that estrogen load in the body, which made me sort of start to look at my skincare. And I said to Emma, like, it's just so hard to find any skincare that isn't loaded with vegetable oils and just all the other crap. And I said to her, I'm thinking about like creating one. And she said, well, do you want a business partner? And that's how Saturée was formed, and we decided to create skincare initially. And
that took a while.
In
the meantime,
to formulate, because we were creating something that was so unique that there's nothing else out there in the market.
Not many formulators wanted to work with us.
No,
we had to went through a few, didn't we?
We did.
Like, you just can't do it like this. You need these necessary fillers. You need these particular preservatives. It just won't work, girls. Like, we had a lot of no people, didn't we? Until we found someone crazy enough to, to want to innovate and try something new. Yeah.
Took us 3 years. And in the meantime, though, then we decided, because Craig and I had done collagen, and we in our business we done
gel.
And then we had decided that Emma and I were like, well, let's do a range of supplements. It makes sense that it sits under Saturée, supplements that can help our clients nourish their bodies in a more convenient way, because some of the foods that we recommend that everyone eats is liver and oysters and bone broths or broths, gelatinous broths. And a lot of people, I'm too time poor. I don't make a lot of broths these days. I'm busy. The liver, not a lot of women want to eat liver. So we ended up making all of these amazing supplements to complement the nutrition and just make it easier to get it in for those people who just didn't have the time or they couldn't access the good quality ingredients. So collagen, gelatin, we've got a beautiful clean casein protein powder, which is amazing. You can use it at night, cascara, liver, oysters. We've got a marine collagen now, which is incredible. So we launched all of those things before we even did the bloody skincare.
But they really evolved quite organically, didn't they? Like we never, we hardly even set out to create a skincare company. It was more that need and that frustration, because they were just, the more you analyze your food and the more you get savvy with understanding, the importance of keeping your fats more saturated and avoiding these PUFAs and the linoleic acid and all the harm they can do in the body and how they are so destructive to the metabolism. And you educate all these incredible women about this stuff and they become these fierce PUFA avoiding, like just so knowledgeable and so wonderful, and they see the benefits it creates. But then the next step, you realize, well, your skin is your largest organ. It's not just this impenetrable barrier. Everything you rub on it to a point, a percentage is going to make it into your tissue, perhaps stay there, go into your bloodstream. So you want to be discerning about these products as well. So more and more I would get asked, you get asked, well, I'm avoiding all these PUFAs in my pantry, but what about the stuff I rub all over my body after a warm shower? When your pores are open, you're sucking everything in. And it's a really valid question. And for years I could just suggest, well, I suppose, keep a tub of coconut oil in the bathroom. But living in Melbourne and most months of the year are cold, you're having to dig at it with a carving knife. It's not ideal when it goes rock hard, and it's slippery and it's awkward and it gets on your clothes. And we realized there was a niche there. And look, there's a handful of decent products out there in the world, but they're hard to find and certainly not available widely in Australia. And it was more that feeling of, just fed up with not being able to 100% endorse something and provide our clients that comfort in knowing what they're rubbing on themselves and their children too, their babies. I mean, the stuff in baby lotions is horrific.
Crazy.
So I remember that day, that fateful day when you said something about thinking I've got to do some skincare. And I thought, easiest thing to do would have been to say, oh, good luck to you. Bye, Kitty. Because I didn't want to embark on this mammoth task. But when I thought about it, I thought, we do. And I think I need to help you, and I think we need to do this. And of course, by 24 hours later, Kitty had already signed up a formulator and said, let's get started, because Kitty's all action. I would have procrastinated for 6 months going, should we? So Kitty makes things happen.
Yeah.
But it was just incredible that with the skincare, it was just, based on desperation and need, not out of a want to just have a skincare company. We just felt like we had to do this. And with the knowledge that we'd accumulated from so many great people and that Ray had passed to us, we felt that, let's put all his incredible research to good use and create some more tangible things that people can feel like they're making better purchases. And just to put better stuff out in the world, it's just
good quality. And minimal, pull stuff back, using a million different things. Like I love our skincare. It's so simple. And, I remember I used to love the foaming cleansers and I was like, it's got to be really clean. And then when ours came out, I realized I was just drying out my skin and stripping my skin. And once I started using our stuff, my skin just felt plump and soft and, it didn't need so many things on it, which is, And we're
hacking every day.
Yeah, we've got so much great feedback. I love our body cream. It's just so simple and just feels amazing. And
not easy to make, but simple.
Yeah, that's right. To make. And I think, would you say, Emma, like we were creating some videos for Instagram and trying to sort of summarize what we do in a few sentences. And we talked about, helping people have a more youthful metabolism. So, I think especially like I find with the women that I work with, they just feel old and they feel tired and they think, oh my goodness, it's the age and I just have to feel this way and I can't feel young and vibrant and have energy and, have more muscle and less body fat. I think like what I've found, like we're in our 40s now and, just eating this way and living this way, I sleep better, my digestion's better, I've got more energy, I can cope with stress and it's just Yeah. And I noticed that with our clients too. They're like, oh, my skin's glowing. You know, I interviewed this lady on our podcast, and she used to do CrossFit, and there was this photographer at a CrossFit, and he's caught up with her again after she'd started our program. It'd been like a year, and he's like, you just look younger. Like, your skin looks younger, and you look brighter and healthier, and you're glowing. So yeah, I don't know. It's sort of hard to describe, isn't it? It's like, what is it exactly is it that we do?
What we're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And enjoy food again.
Yeah.
Real food.
And pare everything back. I think the whole topic of wellness, beauty and everything has become, and nutrition has just become unnecessarily overcomplicated. And I pull right back on consulting. I can only do so many consults these days, and we're juggling a lot. Saturée is growing exponentially, which is exciting, but I still get the inquiries, and the most common inquiry is, I just don't know what to eat. I'm just confused about what to eat. I'm just at my wit's end. I've done this, tried this, and if they Google, more and more, they're just going to get even more, overwhelmed by it, and they might read one of my articles or see some of my posts and just get this feeling of, oh, hang on a second, that makes sense. And it isn't rocket science, the stuff we talk about with nutrition. Honestly, like I tell people over and over again, if you explained the kind of eating we recommend to, if you're able to explain this to your great-great-grandmother, she'd probably go, well, yeah, that's what I do. What's the big deal? Eggs, dairy, sugar, meats, gelatinous broth. It's just old-fashioned food. It's nothing new. It's just not. These are just things we've forgotten, and we got a bit fancy, or we got a bit. I know we're able to manufacture things that we couldn't manufacture back then, and maybe we don't want to be manufacturing and dissecting food so much. And it shouldn't have to be, 100% plant-based. Does that even make sense to our basic physiology? So it's nice when people at the very least get from us that feeling of, I think I already know deep down, what it is that I should be eating. And once they do, it's, I don't know, I think it's elevating on every level. They don't just feel better, but there's that relief of the anxiety around food and the confusion.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Like, I felt so confused. And I was obsessed with food, but not in a good way. I was thinking about what I could eat, what I couldn't eat when I was having my next cheat meal. I was telling Emma that last night I'm obsessed with these baby back pork ribs, having them with these air fried chips cooked in beef tallow, then having like ice cream made with our collagen and the chocolate brownies, and it's just divine. Just to be able to enjoy that food and not feel guilty and think, oh my goodness, I can't eat sugar and I can't eat carbs, and know that I'm nourishing my body. It's the most freeing feeling. And I think for me, that was the biggest thing. It's just the food. I love food. I absolutely love food.
And how did you sleep last night?
Great. I slept great. It was so I woke up this morning, went out for breakfast, being able to eat out again and not being worried and not thinking I'm going to binge eat, and it is the most freeing feeling.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And I'm so grateful. Like, every day that I drink my juice and I eat my food, I think I'm so grateful that I found you all those years ago and found Ray's work.
Oh, well, I'm grateful to have found him, and I'm grateful that, it's everything. And that you stuck by me too. Like, you could have seen what I was suggesting and gone, this is nuts. Because at the time, I think your trainers and those around you were saying, no.
But it made sense. I just knew. I knew because when I ate the food, I was like, this is incredible. It's delicious. It's, and then when I learned more about my body and how it worked and the nutrients in the food, I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. And I could physically see the results and feel the results in my body. So I knew. I was never turning back.
And then when you start to get the extra confirmations, when, the hair stops falling out, or the period becomes regular, your mood is better. Yeah. Your boyfriend likes you more. Because you're not so scary to be around. It's everything. When you're able to build muscle and retain it.
I know. And have energy again. Yeah, it was super life-changing. So, I think that hopefully sort of summarizes a bit more about what we do. If you head to our website, we've got all our supplements there. We've got our skincare. We've got heaps of new products in the pipeline, just things that we haven't been able to find elsewhere, which is really exciting. And
we're slowly going room by room, aren't we, through the house and going, what could be done better?
Yeah.
And what don't we like purchasing ourselves because we're concerned about these ingredients and no one else is doing it, so we better do it.
Yes.
And we just keep
adding to
chipping away, and who knows where we'll go with products and things. But I think considering, what's available around the world these days is, we've got so much choice, but I still think there's limits in certain product lines and certain types of, whether it be body products or cleaning products or anything that could still be done better or be more available, in certain countries where you can't get things so easily. So I think there's always room for improvement. And I think heading from more your food substances and supplements to the skincare realm was just that next step for us, because you do get to understand, especially when you play with, topical transdermal nutrients and things, which we had for a while, haven't we? Certain substances, that you apply it to the skin and it's going to absorb it, and you're looking for that systemic benefit from it. You start to realize, what are the other things I'm rubbing on my skin? You're going to get systemic, not so beneficial, things from over time. And so many of these, the minerals and things that really do lodge in the tissue and aren't easily detoxified out of the body again. We've got to be so cautious of not just what we're eating, but what we're applying.
Our skin.
And not to say we're trying to, make people to
be so scared.
Obsessive or OCD, but if there's something available there and there was something else available that just happened to be completely clean and beneficial and nourishing, why can't we improve these industries and provide better options? And it's doable. It's a battle at first. You're trying to innovate and do things differently, but it's definitely doable. So we'll just keep doing that.
And I think, go to our website. There's a heap of articles on there behind all of our different products and the skincare. So you'll learn heaps there from Emma, like I have. And then follow us on Instagram. We're Saturée_official_. And that's where we share, more education, tips, different recipes that we love, because we love food. And we think everyone should be enjoying real delicious food and not doing crazy diets. And just keep following our YouTube channel. We're going to be releasing new videos every month, educational videos around some of the why we do what we do, and then different videos on our products and things. And if you can always actually message us on Instagram if you've got any, ideas around content that you want.
Absolutely. Right? We love the feedback. We just want genuine feedback on things, and sometimes you find out that something that you formulated for this particular purpose, by chance, it's helping someone with something else you didn't even anticipate. And it's really exciting when, you find many uses for things. So the stories we get back from people are really exciting to see.
Yeah, great. And we hope you enjoy the YouTube channel, and just look out for the new videos that we release every month.